So Tim Scott is finding out, and I'm loving that for him. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Tabitha, and Tim Scott is having some very personal, probing questions thrown his way, right? Top donors of the GOP want to know why Tim Scott is not married. Me personally, as a Democrat, as many Democrats would probably say, we don't care if Tim Scott's married or not, right? Tim Scott, being a Republican that sides with MAGA Republicans, that sides with Republicans who take away the rights of black people, who stands in the way of important bills being passed. Yeah, I wouldn't care if he's married or not, because if he was married based on the Tim Scott today, I still wouldn't vote for him. So him being married means nothing to me as a Democrat. All I care about in a political candidate is whether or not he's educated, he's experienced with government and how government runs, if he has knowledge, a firm grasp of the issues that affect Americans today, and what is his policy or plan to make life better for all Americans, not just the top 1%, the richest people in the United States, not just white men here in the United States, not just the white working class, for all Americans. And that includes me, a black woman, a part of the middle class. What is your plan to make life better for me and the people within my community? That's all I care about. I could care less if he's married or not. But you see, when it comes to Republicans, they want to control who you sleep with, who you're married to. They want to know your interpersonal workings, what it is about you behind closed doors. Now, the rumor is behind the scenes, and it's just a rumor. The rumor is that Tim Scott plays for the other team. I wouldn't care if he had policy in place, or he had a plan where he was going to do things to uplift, put in policy and bills that was going to benefit the black community, and he has the knowledge, the experience, the education. I would probably vote for Tim Scott. I don't care if he's married. But an exclusive from Axios is letting us know that GOP donors do care if Tim Scott is married or not. Here's what Axios is reporting. GOP donors fret over Scott's single status. Top GOP donors and their allies privately are pushing Senator Tim Scott's team for more detail about his bachelor status before deciding on how much to support him in the presidential campaign, according to two people familiar with the conversation. Now, these GOP, in order to even give him their dollars, these GOP donors want to know, what's up? Why you single? Do you bat for the other team? Are you dating? Are you looking to get married? And if you're dating, who are you dating? What's her pedigree? What's her race? What's her story? It's not going to just stop with, yeah, I'm dating. Many of the donors are in the market for a viable alternative to former President Trump, but still aren't sure about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who's running second to Trump in the GOP polls. Scott, 57, is among those trying to woo such fundraisers. The U.S. hasn't elected an unmarried person as president in 139 years. It's typical for candidates to trot out their families to try to enhance their appeal to voters, right? Isn't the GOP The Republican Party, aren't they the party of family values? Scott's reluctance to say much about his private life has raised concerns among some conservative Republican donors, according to the sources, who requested anonymity given the sensitivity of the issue. See, Scott, they're already trying to grapple with the fact that you are a black man. But if you are a black man who's gay, that's going to be too much. If you are a black man that's married to a white woman, that's going to be way too much. And if you are a black man that's married to a black woman, yeah, is she a black woman that sides with the GOP, or is she a black woman like me? In the end, yeah, you got a lot to prove to these GOP donors. None of this is their business, but they're making it their business. Responding to this reporting, a senior official for Tim Scott's campaign told Axios the South Carolina senator will be discussing the issue in coming weeks. Oh, okay, so he's going to be discussing the issue in coming weeks, y'all. So we going to get to hear what he got to say about him being married, or why is he single, or whatever. Why we got to wait weeks for him to address it? Why can't he just address it now? Why can't he get his little camera phone, do a video and say, I'm single, I haven't met the right woman, and until I do, I'm moving forward with my plans for my life. Or I'm gay. Or, yeah, I'm in a relationship. Here she is. And introduce her to the world. Why we have to wait for coming weeks for you to address this? During an interview with Axios in May, Scott said he had a girlfriend but kept her identity private. Okay. The fact that half of America's adult population is single for the first time to suggest that somehow being married or not married is going to be the determining factor of whether you're a good president or not. It sounds like we're living in 1963 and not 2023, according to Tim Scott. That's a quote. This is what the Democrats have been saying. Mind your own business. Leave other people to live their lives as they see fit. They want to be married, that's great. If they're gay, that's great. Be happy. If you're married to a white woman, that's great. If you're married to a black woman, that's great. Because none of that is our business. But you see, the GOP dictates your character based on your sexuality. This is why they're attacking the LGBTQIA community. This is why they attack interracial couples. They base your character on your sexuality, not whether you are regularly giving to the homeless, not whether or not you are doing good works within the community, getting into good trouble, as John Lewis would say. None of that matters. Not that you would be a good president implementing good policy that will benefit the taxpayers of America, the taxpayers of the United States of America. They don't care about any of that. Who are you sleeping with is what they want to know. But nice spin, because that's what we've been saying all along. You're just now finding out. And your statement, the fact that half of America's adult population is single for the first time, to suggest that somehow being married or not married is going to be the determining factor of whether you're a good president or not. It sounds like 1963 rather than 2023. Nice spin. Nice spin. But they still want to know why you're single. He also tried to, Axios is reporting that he also tried to spin being single as a plus. Being single is a plus for me. I choose to be single. I do not want to be in a relationship. I don't want to deal with the drama that comes along with being in a relationship. Mm-mm. I'm happy being by myself, loving on myself. I am happy. And there's millions of other single people out there that agree with me. So for me, it is a plus. But for Tim Scott, in this situation, he definitely has to spin it as a plus. Quote, I probably have more time, more energy, and more latitude to do the job, he said, adding that even so, my girlfriend wants to see me when I come home, end quote. Potential donors who've asked Scott's campaign about his personal life have been told much the same. But for some, it has only fueled their curiosity and their apprehension. In the first 5 weeks as a candidate, Scott spent about $800,000 more than he raised, according to campaign finance disclosures. Scott can continue that spending for a while, however. He transferred $22 million from his Senate campaign account at the outset of his presidential campaign. So he was spending more than what he had, so he had to dip into his senator campaign funds and transfer them over to his presidential campaign. As of July, he had 21 million on hand, second only to Trump among Republican presidential candidates. Scott has had at least one mega donor in his corner, and that is Oracle founder Larry Ellison, who is set to donate an 8-figure sum to a pro-Scott super PAC. So it goes on to talk about all that he has been doing as far as, the campaign and where he stands as far as polling and all of that stuff. But yeah, Tim Scott's finding out. Tim Scott is on the other end of Republicans all up in your personal business. This is none of their business, but they want to know it because they're not focused on you as a person and what you bring and what you give. No, they're focused on your sexuality. I love this for Tim Scott.